Good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Deb's Artsy Life. I'm Deborah Alexander, and my daughter's nickname for me is Deb, so therefore this channel is Deb's Artsy Life. And my life is very artsy. It's not been as artsy lately as I would like for it to be. I haven't had any time really for painting. The only thing I've done artsy is I went to the art show last Sunday, and I was going to sketch and paint, but I ended up not having time. But I did a journal spread. I want to show you this. I meant to show it to you. I told you that I decided not to participate in the Christmas Bazaar after all. And this little journal entry kind of summarizes and illustrates why. I'm going to hold this up long enough that I hope you can see it. I feel like my camera is blurry today, and I don't know why. But that's me surrounded by all my yarn and projects, and I, along with the yarn, was just unraveling with all the thoughts running through my head. I don't know if it's focusing, but it was like I'd make a Christmas bauble, and then I'd realize I needed to make about 25 more. And I'd make a bag, and then I'd realize, well, I've got to make about 30 more. I mean, there was no way that I was going to be able to make enough in time for that bazaar without stressing myself completely out. So I'm almost still recovering from that stress I put on myself. And I don't know if you guys do that, but I'm the world's worst to do that and try to do way more, like set this impossible goal for myself. And I'm always wanting to do more, make more, make more. And it's felt really good to just step back for the last couple of weeks and just realize what's important. And I've spent a lot of time with my grandson and my daughter. My daughter's, I know you remember me making that spread for my daughter's grandmother, my ex-mother-in-law. It's on a few videos back. I think maybe I was working on it in episode 4 and several, I think I showed it in a couple of videos. But it was this beautiful, colorful, um, like around 36-inch by 36-inch square blanket that I did for the bottom of her bed. And my daughter didn't give it to her really until not long before she passed. And she was waiting for the fall months, but unfortunately, Nana didn't make it very much into the fall. And but my daughter asked me if she could bury her Nana, if she could put that blanket in with her when she was buried. And I told her that would be an honor. And so the blanket is special, and I was really honored to be able to make that. And I want to make another one for Nana's roommate. But anyway, that's one thing that has kept me busy lately is Nana's grandmother. I mean, my daughter's grandmother passing. And it's just been really hard on her because they were very close. So I'm glad that I stepped back from that bazaar because I would just be so stressed. Okay, I've got a lot to share. First thing is this wonderful tea in my beautiful Dutch wax fall weekend mug. I don't use this much. It's in another cabinet, and it's not my everyday coffee mug. So I call these my weekend mugs. And guess what? It's the weekend, so I can drink out of it. This tea's fabulous. Numi rooibos chai. It's all organic. It's all herbal. It's a lot of really wonderful spices like cloves and cinnamon, ginger, allspice, nutmeg, and cardamom. And it's the tea in it is organic rooibos, which is no caffeine. And that's the best part because my body doesn't like a lot of caffeine. Excuse me. I drink coffee in the morning and then decaf. In prepping for this video, I've kind of let my tea get a little lukewarm, but it is so, so good and I highly recommend it. I'll try and link it in the description. I buy it bulk from Amazon. It's just that good. So I plan on drinking a lot of this fall. And the best thing about it is I can just drink cup after cup because it's no caffeine. So I want to show you my finished bag. This is one of several that I hope to make. I don't feel like my camera's working today and it bothers me. I wonder if I've not been careful enough with how I've stored it. But anyway, I love this bag. I got it upside down. Look at this. Sideways. This is the top. Isn't that the cutest thing you've ever seen? I just love it. It looks so Halloween. It is the Premier Basics, and it is this right here is the Heartland line brand Heartland Black Canyon Tweed, and this is my favorite part. It is the Serenity Chunky Candy by Premier. This has become one of my favorite yarns, and I debated about ordering more, but when Hirschner's had their shipping for 99 cents, no, $1.99 flat rate shipping, and they had this on sale for $3.99, I just couldn't resist it any longer because I love combining this Premier Basics with that yarn and coming up with these granny squares and making bags. I ordered 6 skeins of this, and I ordered 6 skeins of the Confetti colorway. I made a bag with it, but I don't have any to show you. But I think this yarn is incredible. And the good thing about it is Serenity, I mean, Premier Basics is a very thick, plump yarn. It's not like the Big Twist or even the Red Heart Super Saver. It has a plumpness to it and a matte kind of finish. It doesn't shine, which I like. But it pairs so well with this Serenity Chunky. I just used the I9 5.5 millimeter hook on both. Well, on all 3 of these yarns, and they just go so well together. See how perfect this square is? I mean, it's just as straight. And of course, I turn it after each round. But this will be the next bag. And here's the other side. I know I've shown you guys this before, but I'm just crazy about these. And if you know me at all, this is so my color aesthetic. I mean, I could crochet with nothing but these colors and be happy for the rest of my days. This is me. And I love bright colors. And so I just had to have some of this yarn because it just makes my heart happy. I like what Sarah says, her podcast, It Is the Sarah. She calls it heart jumping. These are heart jumping to me. Okay, carrying on with all my projects. I have so many. This is a little basket that I finished. It's about 8 inches across, I guess. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds, a circle. Then I build up the sides with half double crochets. And the way you make this little ridge is the first round you go into the back loop only. And then the rest of the rounds you just do a half double. And then what I do is I put it together like this, straight, and I eyeball where I think the middle is, and then I count, like 8 stitches for the handles, and I skip and make my little handles. But what I love about this basket is I didn't know it, but it fits this Caron blossom cake perfectly. So I can put one Caron blossom cake in here, and it's like a little yarn bowl. Isn't that the cutest thing? And it keeps all my yarn, with it, and it doesn't just flop around everywhere, because cakes do tend to do that. So this is the start of something very exciting to me. This is also my first use of the ChiaoGoo knitting needles, which I really am enjoying. I don't even know how to spell that. I'll try and link it if I can remember. But this is a pattern that I found on, well, it's not a well, it is a pattern, but it's a tutorial. I'm not following a pattern because that drives me crazy. But this is a very simple tutorial that Noble Knits put out several years ago, and I found it, and it's just called something like Knit Your First Shawl. And all it is knit stitches, but you increase on one side. So I'm learning how, or I have learned how to do the knit front and back, knitting in the front loop and then going and knitting into the back loop, and that increases from 1 stitch to 2 on your needles. And then you do that at the beginning of every other row, and you get this gorgeous, just look at that fabric. I love this yarn, and I was ready to take it back to Michael's because I didn't like it. But once I started this project, I am just in love with this, and I am so looking forward to completing it. And I'm just going to take my time because it's so enjoyable. And it's an easy, easy, easy thing to do. No stockinette, no purls. It's only the knit stitch. And you just use one cake, and you end up with this beautiful asymmetrical shawl, or maybe it's a triangle shawl. I'm not sure. But anyway, it's very simple. All you do is increase every other row. So, if I can remember it, I'll try to link all these things. But if I don't, just remember, it's Noble Knits Knit Your First Shawl, or something like that. Okay. So I've shown you my finished bag. I took a whole bunch of bags, a stack about this big, although it was only about eight bags. I thought I had done more than that. Can you imagine me trying to do a bazaar with 8 bags finished? So anyway, I took all those down to Chestnut Creek School of the Arts near where I live downtown, and those are on consignment. So I feel good about that. Now I know that you've seen this 100 times, but hopefully this will be the next to the last time I show it to you, because I'm getting ready to finish this afternoon. And I don't know about you, but I absolutely love it. I'm kind of almost sad to finish it because it was such a luxurious yarn to work with. The softness of this yarn is incredible. But I don't have to be sad because I have about 6 more skeins in my closet. Different colors. But what I want to show you is this crazy texture. I went wild, and I did 2x2 rib. I did 1x1 rib. I did knits where I should have done purls, and I just went with the fact that I made a mistake. And I just started running with it and just started playing. And I love the texture of this. I know it looks a little crazy, but I just think that I'm going to love curling up with this. It's not quite as long as I want it to be, but I don't want to start a whole new skein and try to make it twice as long, because I think I might go crazy doing that, because I have worked on this forever. I don't want to wear the yarn out before I get a chance to wear it. So I'm on the knit stitches. I've only got about this much, and I was afraid I would run out if I kept doing the stockinette and not have enough to do all the rows of the knit stitches at the border. So the border is this wide, so I'm about halfway to the end of the border. See, I've got about, I don't know, maybe 6 more rows to do. And then I'll bind off and be finished. And once I finish, I want to show you, I want to wash it. I'm not going to block it because it's acrylic yarn. I don't think I need to. I'm going to wash it, and I don't know if I can dry it or not. I can't remember, but I don't think so. But anyway, I'm going to wash it, let it dry, and show you the totally finished product. And that should be soon. Okay, so let's see how long. Okay, I don't want to go too long. I could, I suppose, divide this up into a few videos, but we'll see how it goes. I want to show you my ornaments. I know I have shown these before, but I've finished a few more. This is the one I showed you in the past episode. And it's not my favorite. The colors are too muted and ugh, I want bright. But I want to show you what I use as hangers. I ordered these on Amazon. You can get them at Hobby Lobby, Walmart. But I knew I was going to make a bunch of these ornaments. So a couple years ago, I ordered a whole batch of these from Amazon. But is that not beautiful? I just think that makes such a pretty little Christmas ornament. And you know what the best part of this ornament is? There are no ends to sew in. You do not have to sew the first end because you are joining this with a whip stitch at the end, joining the two sides. So all my ends are inside here, and I just kind of roll them up inside the ornament, and you don't have to sew in ends. And that, my friend, is a huge bonus for this project. So this is Line Brand 24/7 cotton yarn. You don't have to use cotton. This is, I also have silver and gold. I've got, well, I don't think I showed you the whole bag. I've got a bunch of these. I've got gold, silver, red, and green. But this one's done with all acrylic yarn, acrylic sparkle yarn, no less, that I got at Hobby Lobby. And I've had it for quite some time, so it's almost getting a little fuzzy. But you can do it in acrylic or cotton. Honestly, it's more fun and quicker to do it in acrylic, but it looks a little more polished in the 24/7 mercerized cotton. But, I mean, either one's fine. I love picking out the colors and figuring out, you know, what design you're going to do, what color story or whatever. Okay, and this one I'm going to use red. These hooks are very inexpensive, and it's worth getting them. You know, it does kind of make it cumbersome when you're selling them but you don't want just any old hook. So I like to sell the hook too, so I know they're being hung with something suitable. This is probably my favorite as far as color. I love the bright colors. I love the chartreuse with the red and blues. And there again, no ends to sew in. And last but not least, I really like this one. This might, I don't know. I don't really have a favorite. I like them all, except for that one that's so dull. You can see these are just my colors. They're just me. I love that. This is all acrylic. It's a variegated from Hobby Lobby. And then, no, it's not. This is not all acrylic. This has wool yarn, Patton's wool yarn. It has cotton, 24/7 cotton, and it has acrylic. This is 24/7 cotton. This is acrylic from Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn. This is variegated. I love this yarn. This is some wool I had. So see, you can use scraps and you can mix it because you cannot tell that this is not all acrylic. I had to really look at it. So this might be my favorite so far. I like mixing all those and using scraps. The problem is I have more 24/7 cotton than I will ever use. So I don't know. I got more yarn than I'll ever use, and I keep buying more. Y'all know what I did? We have a group that meets called In the Loop that meets at the library, and it's a group of ladies that get together. The youngest is 17, and the oldest is probably, I don't know, 60s. Um, but one of the ladies has been knitting and crocheting for 50 years, and she is so amazing. But we get together twice a month and just do our thing. And some of the ladies were knitting or not knitting, but cross stitching. And so it's whatever you want to do in the realm of handcrafts. But anyway, I took a bunch of yarn and gave it away because it was yarn like that I got in a Line Brand mystery box that I didn't like. And it wasn't so much that I didn't like the yarn, but I didn't like the colors. It was very pastel, which is not me. And it had been in my closet for a while. And I got rid of some Line Brand jeans yarn in the color top stitch. I just got rid of some yarn that I knew that it would take me forever if I ever used it. And then I turned around and bought more yarn. But I debated and debated about that. And I just want yarns that make me happy. I want yarns that I want to use, that I look forward to using, and the bright colors and I want yarn that I love. I don't want yarn that I don't love. So that's what I did. This I love. Even though it's kind of pastel, it's got my aesthetic just in a more muted color scheme. I love the primary colors. I love reds and blues and yellows and greens, and this is kind of that, but it's muted. And it kind of almost looks good with my shirt. But this is that yarn that I treated myself to from Hobby Lobby. Yarn Bee, Baby Bee, Sweet Delight Chunky. And it in rainbow color. And it just happened. No, it's called Happy Go Rainbow. I mean, how cute is that? But it was in the wrong place and it just jumped out at me. And I was going to try to use this as opposed to buying more of the Serenity Chunky Candy. But look at that. I mean, there's no comparison to the vibrancy of this as opposed to this. So I ended up buying the Serenity Chunky Candy too did I tell you guys that? They had shipping for $1.99 at Hirschner's. I've started this video a couple times because my camera wasn't working, so I can't remember what I've said and what I didn't. So I may be repeating myself, but Hirschner's had a sale, $1.99 for flat rate shipping, and these were $3.99. So I got 6 of these and 6 of the Confetti colorway. But I mean, really, there is no comparison to the vibrant. I love the vibrancy of this. And there is every color in this yarn that you can imagine. So there's no end to the combinations of, colors that you could use. Whatever color of solid you use will pull out that color in this. And I love having those options. because I love doing these. And I don't know what this is going to be. I've got 2 more rounds to make this granny square just like this one. Even though they're different, because you see the yarn here is red because of where I started. So, I mean, you even get variation. I love using variegated yarns, y'all. And this is a chunky too, but with this Premier Basics, it works. Now, I've also got this, what is this, guys? Big Twist Value that I ordered. And it's bright, brilliant colors, but I haven't yet determined if I'm going to be able to use the chunkier yarns with this, because this is almost a 3-weight. It's a very thin 4-weight, or it's a lot thinner. I shouldn't say that. It's a lot thinner than the Basics. You can see that. Look how much chunkier the Basics is. Or I think you can see it. But anyway, you can't, whoops, you can't beat the vibrancy of this Big Twist Value yarn. And I'm crazy about it. And I'm going to do something huge with it, but I don't know what yet. But I've shown you these before. But I am so enjoying these granny squares and this bright colored yarn. And I had to have more of that because I was so dreading when I ran out of it. So I thought, I'm just going to order it. I'm just going to do it. So I did. Even though I've got a ton and a half of this cotton. And I've got a whole closet full of the anti-peeling everyday worsted from Premier. Well, that's hard, you guys, isn't it? How will I ever use up all the yarn? I don't know. But I bought this at Hobby Lobby with my daughter. I mentioned it in a video, but I haven't shown it to you. Excuse me. It's got all the knit stitches, all the combinations, where you can make all these wonderful stitch patterns. I've marked several of them. I want to do the chevron. There's just a lot of, I want to have options, in knitting, and I want to learn. And so I've got a crochet stitch dictionary. And I have to admit, I don't use it that often, but I just wanted to have this. And it was special that I bought it when I was shopping with my daughter. So, the other thing I got is this used copy of Little Knitted Creatures. I had a lady, I think it was Amanda in the UK. So, thank you, Amanda. But she kept suggesting that I make small things in knit so that I would have something to show quicker. So I haven't tried it yet, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. But I think this guy's adorable. Isn't he cute? I would love to try him. But it is so intimidating, and I don't know why. But my little grandson would love to have one of these little knitted creatures, wouldn't he? And I know Jennifer Edwards is an artist on Instagram and here on YouTube. She makes these wonderful little mice and writes stories about them. And I'd love to be able to make a mouse. Then here's a bird in a birdhouse. I think that would be so cute. So there's several in here that I'm very drawn to. Look at this cute little duck. And my grandson loves the Miss Rachel video on YouTube that has the ducks, and he loves to say quack quack. This one's weird looking. It's supposed to be a bear, I guess, but I'm not crazy about him. But he looks easy. And then there's fish. I love that. And he's learning how to say fish too, so that would be cute. So I hope that I will be able to do some of these, at least one or two. Look at the little turtle. There's just several cute ones in here. I ordered this used from Amazon. No, from Thrift Books. 26 Amigurumi Designs by Amy Gaines. And again, I don't know why my camera looks so blurry. I hope it's not when this comes out. But anyway, on with the show here. I've put some length on my sweater, and I'm getting really excited about finishing it. I'd love to work on it this afternoon after I finish this video and start the sleeves. But you see, I'm nearing the end of the length here, and it's getting colder, so this is I think I've been calling it autumn sunset, but I think it's autumn sunrise. It's one or the other, and it's by Cinnamon Stitches. And y'all know I watch her every day at lunch, so I love Cinnamon Stitches. And I love how simple her tutorials are. You know, you don't have to follow this lengthy pattern and count stitches. She just makes it so easy. And that's what I like. I don't like it to be complicated. There's enough complicated in life. And I think that's the thing about something like, well, not necessarily that, but this, something small I might could handle, but I do not like following patterns, and I wish I did, because it would open up doors for more. Oh, one other thing. When I went to Poppy's in Meadows of Dan, sorry, I can't find it. I bought 2 skeins of sock yarn because, I mean, they had a ton of yarn, but I want to make some socks. I want to knit some socks so bad. So I bought this, and I've just ordered a ChiaoGoo 3.25 millimeter knitting needles. And I'm going to try to knit a pair of socks just on circular needles. I hope I can find something that's not too complicated. This is 100% wool, I think. No, 75% washable wool, 25% nylon. So it's really good sock yarn, I think. And if you don't know about poppies, you need to watch my episode 17 where I shared about that. Several people have commented on my cushions on my couch. I do love my cushions. This one's probably one of my favorite. And I just made this up, you know. It's just a circle, and all you have to do is just make sure it lays flat. And then I just sewed the 2 sides together around a round pillow. So, and then this is Premier Anti-Peeling, and I've probably shown you these before, but some of it's anti-peeling. I should not have mixed non-anti-peeling with anti-peeling because it is fuzzing a bit. But that's just one big granny square. And then I sewed it together on the back. So there you have it. And one of my spiritual gifts, my top spiritual gift is teaching. And I've known that for some time. My next spiritual gift, I don't know if you guys have ever done that survey or questionnaire or whatever to determine what your spiritual gifts are, but mine are teaching and showing mercy. So, like visiting people in hospitals, just, showing mercy to people that are in need, feeling empathy and compassion for people. And that is definitely true of me. It's like I can put myself in others' shoes and almost feel what they're feeling. And sometimes that's good and sometimes it's not. But the reason I'm telling you all this is because I know that my top spiritual gift is teaching. And I've been praying about it, and I'm going to continue to, because I don't know what that means necessarily. I'm the librarian at our church, which is very much enjoyable for me. But I feel like, do I need to be doing tutorials on here to teach you how to do some of this stuff, what is it that I need to be focusing on? And even as in terms of this channel, if that's my spiritual gift and I'm good at teaching, then the thing of it is with my spiritual gift, I'm not good at shepherding. I'm really low on that part. So like a Sunday school class, I would not be good at it because I'm not good at like um, taking care of the class and doing all the follow up that goes into it, if that makes sense. So, um, doing like small groups or teaching tutorials online, I know that's not really spiritual, but it is at the same time because I feel like every gift we have is a gift from God. And I know that He's given me creativity as a gift and it's carried me through my life, and I cannot imagine my life without the artsy part. I mean, my life is so artsy, and that has been a constant through all kinds of, trauma, losses, happy times. It's just always been there. And if I'm not working with my hands and I'm not creating, I'm not a happy camper. So I know that's a huge part of me, and I do want to share that with you. So, I'm going to continue to think and pray about it and figure out what I want to do. My big fear, and I always have my big fears, they keep you from doing all kinds of things you should be doing. But I don't want to, like, do anything that would be, uh, like stealing somebody's idea or stealing somebody's work or um, breaking any kind of copyright rules. And there's so much already out there. But someone told me something this week or week before last. It was Lindsay Nail with Chestnut Creek School of Arts. She's a dear friend and a very talented musician. She's just an awesome, awesome young woman. But she said that she thinks about not putting songs out when there's so many songs out there. She writes songs, she performs songs. And I thought about that. And she said, there might be a lot of tutorials out there, but they're not your tutorials. And I know, for instance, with this basket, and I mean, anybody can put out a tutorial on this basket because it's just very simple design. But not everybody does it like I do it. And not everybody has the color aesthetic that I have. I know that I uh, am very good at putting colors together. That's something, that I love. Okay, and so then this basket is all my design. I've not finished it yet. It's actually not a basket, it's a bag. But I just I mean, I put this together myself. There's no way I could be infringing on anybody because it's mine. I don't want to write a pattern for it because that would be awful. But I could do a tutorial. Same thing with this. It's so simple, but I figured it out myself. And all my bags pretty much are my own design. Um, because I don't follow any pattern. So as time goes on, I hope in this channel to be able to do some of that. I've said I wouldn't do tutorials, but in thinking about my spiritual gift of teaching and in thinking about who I am as a person and what I want from this channel, I might do that. The big problem I have too is time. Working full time, if I worked from home or something like that, but working full time and having the 2-year-old wild grandson, he'll be 2 November 1st. That's a lot. And so there's not a lot of time, but I found lately that my focus is more on knit and crochet and has been for some time than it is on watercolor and painting and drawing. And so I've thought about, do I shift my focus completely to knit and crochet, and can I do that? I'll still journal and doodle, in my journal. But I don't know. I'm just thinking about a lot of things. So let me know in the comments what you'd like to see and what you think. And I love getting your comments. I love hearing from you. So keep those coming. And I hope this video hasn't been too long. Hope you have a wonderful Sunday, and thank you. I'll see you next time.